Mom raises 500. It's over. I think it's like 586 or something. It's over 500.
Yeah.
After appearing to hurl racist slur at child in viral video. The website hosting the fundraiser said it restricted comments after many donors expressed racist rhetoric over the incident filmed at a Minnesota playground. Are you familiar with this situation, by the way?
Yes. Yes, I am. They got rid of the comments, and creative as they are, folks, creativity mixed with ideology is a very potent weapon. Creative as those folks were, they decided, oh, you got rid of the comments? Well, then we'll say what we have to say in our names for our
Oh,
donation.
that's funny. That's funny.
See, look, that's funny, and it's something
Um,
that we can laugh about. But
correct.
this whole situation is what happens when an oppressed majority is just pushed too far, and all it takes
Mhm.
is for one person to be like, "I'm sick of your shit. Do not take from me. Do not take from my child. I am going to go all out against you." And that's when the radicalism just blows up, but it's deserved, man.
Yeah.
And if that happened on a collective level, all hell would break loose.
So
Damn.
here's the video.
Did you call him a
Mhm.
child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
Minnesota woman was caught in a viral video slinging a series of racial slurs at an autistic child and a man at a playground in Rochester, about 90 minutes south of Minneapolis. Damn, I feel like this is leaving out some pretty big context, but let's keep going and see if they
Exactly. It's narrative.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's narrative control.
Notice, I almost can guarantee they're not going to have the context because they said an autistic child. Like, look at them painting the child as the victim.
To justify the thing. Yeah.
Two women, Shiloh Hendrix, the woman, Shiloh Hendrix, admitted to hurling the N-word at the 5-year-old. She allegedly caught, they do say it, rifling through her bag at the playground. Sharma Omar, who filmed the incident, pressed the blonde woman and asked if digging through her belongings would justify a racial slur against a child who is autistic. Well, first off, how the fuck would she know that?
And second of all, I know this sounds a bit prejudicial, folks, but if a guy like that was going up to and filming a lady like that with her kiddo right there, I'd be pretty concerned, man. Especially in my part of the world, where attacks made by people who look like that are quite prevalent on women with children, and they're not very merciful. Just put it that way.
A video of Rochester, Minnesota mom appearing to hurl racial slur at a black child on a city playground earlier this week has been circulating widely across social media, garnering criticism from many viewers and $500,000 in donations from others. It's so funny how this is like fighting back. Basically, there's like, it's turning into like a racial thing now where one side of races are supporting people because of the color of their skin. And that's literally the only reason they're doing it, which is like, I don't know if I'm loving the direction of that, but I do find it comical, I guess we'll say.
Oh, I know what it'll lead to. It'll lead to, to quote something controversial, rivers of blood, because this will build up. The tensions will boil over. Because look, I'd be pretty pissed off if someone was going through my stuff, because in a high trust society, Smash, and you've lived most of your life, I dare say, in a high trust society, you can leave things lying around and people will have the civilized sense. Even young people, kids, will have the sense to leave your stuff alone. Not so in low trust societies, in the second and third world. You got to keep your shit with you. And if you import these kinds of people into your civilized society, well, then you're a low trust society and you've got to look after your stuff. And when that culture clashes, you're going to get stuff like this, especially when folks are sick and tired of the open borders and the mass invasion, not just in the US, but also in Europe. And this woman snapped. And I cannot blame her for snapping.
The online donations poured in alongside notes expressing far-right and racist sympathies. Was this written by a certain Kotaku journalist? Prompting a decision. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Smash,
Okay.
because it is your show. Article writer, name.
Angie or Orellana Hernandez.
I can predict exactly the kind of narrative she's going to make
Well, it's
just
the
by looking at her
Washington
damn
Post. I
name.
think we already know what narrative we're going to get. It doesn't matter what the writer is. It's the Washington. They have a slanted view on everything, but which is again part of the problem. There is no independent journalism anymore. It's
Slanted.
It is.
She better not be Asian, Smash.
Oh, good point. I think that name is Spanish or Mexican. But good point. Like words are everything. Prompting a decision to mute comments by the Christian crowdfunding service hosting the campaign, which has been used to raise money for Daniel Penny, Luigi Mangione, and Kyle Rittenhouse. The women's fundraiser prompted the local NAACP chapter in Rochester to start its own crowdfunding campaign for the family of the 5-year-old for being called a name.
Yeah.
Who the group said, I mean, this happens every day, everywhere around the country. Why would they need to raise $320,000 for him being called a name?
Capitalizing on a topic of the day.
I'm curious. Shockingly, the woman responsible for the hateful act of rummaging through her purse. Oh wait, no, that was the kid that did it. Launched a fundraising campaign for herself. The Rochester NAACP said. Many of the comments, and they talk about all that stuff. Okay, fundraiser, GiveSendGo, help me protect my family, was started by Shiloh Hendrix, who identified herself as a mother who appeared to use a slur in the video. Hendrix did not respond to a request for comment on Saturday. The fundraiser attracted counts signing off with their name. By the way, agree with the direction of people supporting her or not. I think it's a great thing that happened because it's going to make the media think twice about how they portray people. Because if they start doing that and people get funding because they're being portrayed as the bad guy, then that's going to force the hand of the media, or they're going to just keep doing it and keep capitalizing on it. Either way.
It's going to be a culture war, and it's going to escalate, man. This is the physical, real-world consequences of a culture war escalation. I know that if exactly the same circumstances happened in the United Kingdom, I can tell you this right here, right now. She'd be arrested. She'd be charged with a hate crime. She'd have her kid taken off of her, be sent into the care system and treated poorly by the people who are in it, because most of the care system now is riddled with broken kids because there aren't enough foster families to carry them all. And most of the foster families are foreign. It's that bad here. And she would be arrested, charged, convicted, sent into a prison that just so coincidentally is a majority foreign occupied prison in the UK. And then, oh no, she's dead. She was killed in prison. That's the timeline because of how things go in the UK. That's why if you speak your mind, if you're controversial, and if you say nasty things or oppose certain groups of people in the UK, you get sent into a prison system full of them. You're on a one-way trip unless you're an action star who's willing to be John Wick with a toothbrush or something. It's that bad.
JJJ3 says, why would he need money? Why would she need the money? That's the funny thing. They don't.
Well, I'd say for the lady in question, controversy, the opposition will go at her, go at those around her, try to dox her, try to seek her out.
That's true.
Like
And that is a good point. She says that. She says it's help me protect my family. So, I mean, there is definitely something to that, especially the more national news this story gets, the more she gets spread around, the more, if I were her, and she has a lot of identifying tattoos, the more I'd be very concerned to be caught out in public by someone that will take action against her. So
there are there are hate crime laws in the UK, folks, and there is a
Oh,
two-tier
they said they
justice
doxed her, by the
system
way, too.
in there is a two-tier justice system in the UK. It's even built into our legal system now, where if you are of a protected characteristic, you will get more lenient sentences in the UK. And if your crime is a hate crime against a protected group, racial, sexual, religious, not Christian though, but religious, you will face harsher sentences. And then coincidentally, you'll go into certain prison systems that are very diverse. And a lot of people in prisons do get, shanked, shanked to death. It does happen. It's not something that's often talked about because if you bring it up, you often go through the similar process. But it is dark shit, man. That's why you don't see popular movements rising up in Europe because they'll black bag you through the legal system.
I'm just from a personal perspective, just looking at it because I have some experience in recent history with a GiveSendGo and gaining some at least large attention on a small scale in the gaming community where many people, many voices, many people I've never interacted with or knew about me, found out about me through it. And it garnered over $60,000 for my legal defense fund over what people see as a big injustice right now. And then I see a story like this. I'm like, damn, this is crazy that to get national news coverage on it. It's impressive how the more eyeballs get on something like this, it doesn't even matter at some point what the cause is. It's just a numbers game at that point with more people seeing it. It just goes over and over and more. And they're saying 500. I'm seeing in the chat, people are saying it's closer to 600,000 now in a week.
It's going up and up because people not just in the US but across the West are just sick and tired of this. The only thing the people lacking is organization, the sheep and shepherd mentality. But our opposition, in this case, they're like wolves and they'll go for the shepherds. And for me, it's institutional. Whoever controls the institutions get to decide things. And I know in the UK, they recently changed the legislation to carry out the sentences, the hate crime-based sentences, the way I described earlier, because we have a government, a Labour government, a left-wing government, that has a supermajority. So they can do whatever the hell they want until 2029.
And this is a crazy thing, by the way. Terrible reporting and definitely biased because they do not link it. They just say, here it is. I don't care what your perspective is. If you're going to call yourself a journalist, if you're going to reference something, you have to link it. They don't make a clickable link because this person is clearly biased and doesn't want anyone else donating to it, which is crazy. And that's exposing them for it. So here we go. This is the other crazy thing. Goal, $1 million. What?
Capitalizing on the situation, man.
Holy
Americans
shit.
are opportunistic.
I mean, I guess, but who starts for what happened? Like I was going to say the punishment doesn't fit the crime, but the reward doesn't fit the crime. Like $1 million. Hey, I'm asking for $1 million. It's almost like she knew this was going to get viral national attention, setting a goal like that for what happened. That's crazy. Hi, my name is Shiloh, and I've been put into a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at the park. I called, this is a different narrative than what they said in the story. They said they were just rummaging through it. I called out the kid for what he was. She's very straightforward. Another man who we recently found out has a history with law enforcement proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. My address, my phone number has been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. I mean, we're going to need a source on that one because that's some lefty language right there. My eldest child may not be going back to school. That is a legitimate concern. Even where I exercise has been exposed. I'm asking for your help to assist in protecting my family. I fear we must relocate. I like this. I fear we must. Not saying she will. I fear we must. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear. Thank you. And updates.
Some of the names, man, is just makes me
Oh
giggle.
shit! I didn't even see that. Like you were saying, Nate Higgers.
Oh,
Whites
dear.
have more money.
Well, they do for the most part.
So tired of naggers.
And there's just a funny element of this because
White lives matter.
deep down, I wouldn't just say ourselves, but our parents and grandparents deep down thought this way, but just couldn't say it because they get into trouble. And now that like 8 decades of that is just being unleashed, and people are not afraid anymore. They're having fun, especially in the US. It's a bit more dangerous in Europe.